Timothy Snyder is a professor of history at Yale University, and he penned a most interesting essay in the New York Times entitled, "How a Russian Fascist is Meddling in America's Election." It's a worthwhile read if you want to understand a bit of Vladimir Putin's anti-America behavior. It seems that Putin, the object of Donald Trump's heart-pity-pat bromance, is much enamored of the now-deceased Ivan Ilyin, whom Snyder described as a prophet of Russian fascism. Ilyin was all about the demise of individuality and democracy, both of which he saw as evil. He believed in a Russia ruled by a national dictator who would be inspired by the spirit of totality, whatever that means. If you're an ordinary Russian citizen and a hammer and sickle fanatic, that might sound pretty good to you. And it will stay that way until the commissars snatch you from your home in the middle of the night and send you to a Siberian labor camp. And why wouldn't they do that if individuals, you, are evil and have no individual value? It's so very Soviet Union yesterday. Which isn't the main point for us, but it does provide context. Snyder writes, quote, "For a decade, Russia has been sponsoring right-wing extremists as election observers, most recently in the farcical referendums in the Crimea and in the Donbass region of Ukraine, in order to discredit both elections and their observation. Since democracy is a sham, as Ilyin believed, then it is right and good to imitate its language and procedures in order to discredit it. And it's noteworthy that the Trump campaign has now imitated this very practice, supplying both its own private observers and the advanced conclusion about the fraud they will find. The technique of undermining democracy abroad is to generate doubt where there had been certainty. If democratic procedures start to seem shambolic, then democratic ideas will seem questionable as well. And so America would become more like Russia, which is the general idea. If Mr. Trump wins, Russia wins. But if Mr. Trump loses and people doubt the outcome, Russia also wins." Close quotes. How in the world can Trump be about making America great when all that he says and all that he does rips at the very fabric of our democracy? I'm Jack Altshuler.